All right. How y'all doing today? I'd like to thank you all for coming out on this Saturday morning for our first annual SIC Black History Month Art Competition Awards. The theme for this year's competition was Famous Black Leaders Past and Present. It is presented by Socorro ISD Fine Arts Department, and it was sponsored by Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Theta Delta Lambda Chapter. I'm going to take some time now to go ahead and introduce the fine arts staff. We have Mr. Armando Martinez, Director of Fine Arts, Ms. Candace Prince, Assistant Director of Fine Arts, Ms. Janet Lynch, our Instrumental Specialist, myself, Maka L. Jones, Visual Arts Specialist, and of course, auxiliary staff, Ms. Margie Monhe, Administrative Specialist 1, and Vanessa Salazar, Administrative Specialist 1. So without further ado, I'm going to have Ms. Janet Lynch go ahead and talk a little bit about what we've been doing in the Fine Arts Department this past year and going into this year. Ms. Janet?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Janet Lynch, and I'm the Instrumental Music Specialist for SISD. Congratulations to all of you who participated in this event and to all of our winners. I'm very proud to tell you about so many of our wonderful programs within the Fine Arts Department. To begin with, our art department has been beyond successful this year with many awards that have been and will be mentioned, including this honor that you are all here for today. Musically in SISD, our bands, our choirs, orchestras, mariachis, guitar and piano, as well as our dance and theater programs have been extremely successful in years past, with marching bands and mariachis advancing to state competitions, and students in all divisions have participated in district and UIL contests, earning the highest of accolades and ratings. And even during this pandemic and our current situation with COVID and everything, our programs have flourished with having the most students participating and advancing in all region, area, and state competitions for the entire El Paso community. We serve all elementary students in art and music and offer art, music, and theater programs for all middle and high schools. Socorro ISD Fine Arts is certainly a force to be reckoned with, and I'm very pleased to share that we've been the recipient of the National Association of Music Merchants Best Communities in Music Education Award for the past 4 years, and we're currently awaiting this year's recognition. I'm very honored to be a part of this awesome team of educators within our department, and we are so proud to show you a short video of past fine arts events that we are so very much looking forward to having again in the near future. Again, congratulations to all of you for your efforts, your talents, and especially your love for art.
I was young, I had dreams of glory. All these mistakes seem to come like a flood, until my days, they were done. But I don't wanna feel like wishful thinking. Pick myself up and move to the beat of my heart and my soul. Sing a song for the dreamer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Armando Martinez, and I am the Director of Fine Arts for the Socorro Independent School District. Welcome to our first annual Black History Month art competition. During this pandemic, we have all faced multiple forms of adversity, one being that multiple opportunities were taken away from you. When the annual Black History Month contest became inaccessible to us, we jumped at the opportunity to create our own contest in recognition of such an important celebration. Originally conceived as just 1 week and ultimately an entire month, Black history is American history, and it is vitally important that we recognize it as such and that we honor it and we honor the roles many of our amazing Black leaders have had on our society. This contest was specifically tailored to the theme of famous Black leaders, past and present. We wanted all our contestants to explore all the amazing leaders that have contributed to American society and the barriers that have been broken down throughout history. You, our amazing Team SISD artists, did not disappoint, and all our entries are amazing. I myself had learned so much about influential Black leaders through your artwork, and that's what this competition is all about, educating us and educating us on Black history. Sharing with each other all the great things and wonderful history of Black culture and its influence on our daily lives. We are all American, and it is important that we recognize all of our differences no matter our color, our race, and our culture. We are here to celebrate difference and all the beauty that it brings. We cannot be more excited to share with you all of our winners and reveal our full gallery to share with the community. Thank you to Dr. Jose Espinosa, Superintendent of Schools, our amazing department leader, Assistant Superintendent Mrs. Cindy Retana, the SISD Cabinet, and last but not least, our wonderful SISD Board of Trustees. We cannot thank you enough for all your support. Thank you to Mr. Jones, Mrs. Prince, and Mrs. Lynch for all your hard work within the department and making these things happen. And a huge thank you to the ladies who work behind the scenes to make all these events happen, Mrs. Monge and Mrs. Salazar. We cannot do any of this work without you. Moving on to why we are here, we want to congratulate all of you. Congratulations to everyone and to all our winners. We celebrate you, we congratulate you, and we hope you continue your artistic journey by participating in many of our amazing events this semester and join us for our district art show in April. Now, let us get on with the show and start this celebration. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. We appreciate your comments. And just to let you know, he did mention coming soon, we have our district student art show, which will be April and May for our high school, middle school, and elementary students. Also, March is Youth Art Month. So just be sure to do something that's art related with your children, kids. Make sure you do something that's art related all throughout the month of March. We're going to have all kinds of activities. They will be virtual because of the pandemic, but stay tuned for those. Now, let's talk about Black History. What is Black History Month? Well, Black History Month used to be Negro History Week. It was started by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and a time for recognizing their central role in not only the U.S. history, but also throughout the world. From Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad to the leadership of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. From Garrett Morgan inventing the traffic light to Jerry Lawson creating the first video game console that used cartridges. From the music of Etta James to the grooves of Michael Jackson. Black leaders, artists, writers, and inventors have helped contribute to the many historical accomplishments in every avenue of our lives. Now, I am going to introduce Mr. Ryan Adams, president of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Theta Delta Lambda chapter. Let me tell you a little something about Mr. Ryan O. Adams. Ryan O. Adams Sr. is the TRICARE Benefits Advisor, Veterans Government Services, the Managing Director, and CETS Technologies Incorporated. Ryan O. Adams was born in Baltimore, Maryland, to Richard T. Adams Jr. and Judith C. Adams. Ryan attended Grace and St. Peter's School and Pimlico Junior High School. He graduated from the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute in 1981, finishing in the top 10% of the graduating class of 500. After Baltimore Poly, Ryan matriculated to Howard University and graduated in 1986 with a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry and commissioned United States Army ROTC Distinguished Military Graduate. Ryan was accepted into Meharry Medical College, but chose to enter active duty. Following graduation from the U.S. Army Armor School, Fort Knox, Kentucky, Second Lieutenant Adams was an M1 Abrams Tank Platoon leader in Company D, 2nd Battalion, 37th Armored Regiment, 1st Infantry Division. After a 22-month tour of duty as a tank platoon leader, First Lieutenant Adams served the Headquarters Company Executive Order of the 3rd Battalion, 34th Armored Regiment. After a successful 3-year tour of duty in West Germany and graduation, the Armored Officers Advanced Course, Cavalry Leaders Course, and Combined Armed Service and Staff School, Phase 1. Ryan was assigned to the Regimental Headquarters, Troop 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment in Fort Bliss, Texas. From 1995 to 2013, Ryan worked in financial services industry, securing life and health services licenses for 15 states and NSAD registration Series 663. Ryan is currently a TRICARE Benefits Advisor with Veterans Government Services and Managing Director with CETS Technologies Incorporated. Mr. Adams currently resides in El Paso, Texas with his bride of 31 years, the former Crystal M. Nixon, Spelman graduate 1987. Ryan has 2 sons, Ryan Jr., age 29, and Christopher, age 24. Ryan is a duly initiated member of the Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated and is currently the president of Theta Delta Lambda chapter in El Paso, Texas. Without further ado, Mr. Ryan O. Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, for that wonderful introduction. Mr. Superintendent, board members, district officials, principals, vice principals, teachers, and students of the Socorro Independent School District, brothers of Alpha, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan O. Adams, and I am the president of the Theta Delta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated here in El Paso. Welcome to my history lesson. Before I start talking about the history of Alpha nationally and Alpha here in El Paso, I think it's important to recognize Dr. Carter G. Woodson. It was Dr. Carter G. Woodson who started this celebration in 1926. It was called Negro History Week, and the purpose of Negro History Week was to educate school systems on the role that African Americans have played in the history of our country. That was its initial intent. So I think it's very interesting that Dr. Woodson had school systems and school districts in mind when he gave birth to this celebration that we call Black History Month. Very interesting. Now on to Alpha Phi Alpha. Who are we and what is exactly that we do in communities worldwide? Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity was founded on December 4th, 1906 in Ithaca, New York by 7 students from Cornell University. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is the first intercollegiate Greek letter fraternity for African-American college men. The Theta Delta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was founded and chartered on October 23rd, 1962 at the Second Baptist Church here in El Paso, Texas. The aims of our fraternity are manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated develops leaders, promotes brotherhood, and academic excellence while providing service and advocacy for our communities. Black history is Alpha Phi Alpha, and Alpha Phi Alpha is Black history. Famous alphas include W.E.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, Thurgood Marshall, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Senator Edward Brooke, Ambassador Andrew Young, the incredible jazz impresario Duke Ellington, Jesse Owens, and former New York Mayor David Dinkins, and many, many more. Locally, the chapter has awarded more than $100,000 in scholarships to college-bound El Paso students through the Theta Delta Lambda Education Foundation. The chapter was recognized in 1999 as the National Chapter of the Year, due in large part to being among the first chapters to successfully raise more than $100,000 for the National Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. The chapter has also established an endowment at the University of Texas at El Paso. Prominent El Paso alphas include Nate Tiny Archibald, NBA champion and National Basketball Hall of Famer. Community activists, the late Robin E.L. Washington and the late Chester E. Jordan, both of whom have schools named after them here in El Paso. Mr. Robert Wingo, who is founder and chairman of Sanders Wingo, one of the leading advertising and marketing firms in the country. And I would be remiss if I did not mention our own retired Command Sergeant Major, retired Hank Green, who is a former history teacher at America's High School, who has generously given his time and resources over the years to El Paso students and the Socorro Independent School District. We are honored to have been chosen to sponsor your very first district art contest, and we look forward to sponsoring many more. Congratulations to all participants and congratulations to the winners. We are so proud of all of you. Thank you for your time and attention today. Be safe and enjoy Black History Month. Remember, Black History Month runs from January 1st through December 31st, because Black history is American history. And I challenge all of you to do a deeper dive into this rich history that is American history. American history is Black history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. And I also want to say Brother Adams, because yes, yours truly, Micah L. Jones, Visual Arts Specialist for Socorro Independent School District, is a proud brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Just wanted to put that out there. So just letting you all know, we are ready for our awards. Let's go ahead and award some. Our first division that's up is our high school division. And third place in our high school division is, drum roll please, Dana Simontel with her piece, Breaking Down the Limits. This is a synopsis of her piece. I decided to honor Katherine Johnson since she broke stereotypes as an African-American and woman. She led Black women to start working in the STEM field and put her race at the top of the mountain. Dana Simontel is from America's High School and is currently a 10th grader. Congratulations, Dana. In second place, with her piece, Change Still. It is a portrait of Angela Davis, the political activist, philosopher, academic, and author. It is done by Guinevere Petrie from Pebble Hills High School. Guinevere is currently a 12th grader at Pebble Hills High School. Now, Genevieve could not be here today, but she did have some comments on her presentation. So there were some questions that we asked her regarding her piece. One was that she had a very interesting composition, and I asked her to explain the content and what it meant to her. And this is what she had to say. My composition includes two visuals of the activist Angela Davis, one of her in the height of her activism in 1970s, and one of her recently last year. The younger version of Davis is looking to the left to symbolize looking back at the problems and movements she spoke out for. And the recent version of Davis looks right to symbolize how her message of change continues forward with her age, surrounding her in white and broken chains and bars to symbolize how she spoke out against the prison industrial complex and the intersectional oppression in society. I include her quote, "I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept." The piece inspires to acknowledge our past and look forward towards our future. Although our society and physical bodies might change or age like Davis, we must not change our mindset, which should be to change our world for the better. I think that was very well said. We also asked her what materials she used to create her work, and this is what she had to say. For my work, I use cardboard for the canvas, acrylic paint, water for dissolution, and a black marker. Thank you very much, Genevieve, for your contribution and your kind words. And in first place for the high school division, we have Katherine Johnson, NASA's original calculator. Katherine Johnson was a pioneer and American hero due to her numerous contributions to NASA. She died February 24th, 2020 at the age of 100 years old. This piece was done by Paulina Trevino from America's High School, 12th grade. And we have Paulina here today.
Hi, Paulina. Are you with us, sweetie?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Surprise. Just so the audience knows, you didn't know that you were first place, right?
Oh, no. I'm just finding this out with you guys.
It's a good surprise for a Saturday morning, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right. Well, congratulations. We were very impressed with your piece, and apparently the judges were as well. So we do have a couple questions for you. The first one we wanted to know is, can you tell us a little about what this amazing woman accomplished and how you first heard about her?
Yes, of course. So my piece is on Katherine Johnson, and how I originally heard of Miss Johnson was through the movie Hidden Figures that told the story of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, who were brilliant African-American women working at NASA who served as the brains behind the launch into the orbit of astronaut John Glenn, a stunning achievement that turned around the space race. This visionary trio crossed all gender and racial lines and inspired generations. More specifically, Katherine Johnson's greatest achievements were the calculations that helped sync Project Apollo's lunar module with the Lunar Orbiting Command and Service Module. She also worked on the space shuttle and the Earth Resources Technology Satellite, and authored and co-authored 26 research reports. Even President Barack Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is America's highest civilian honor.
That's amazing. So when you saw this movie, did they also talk about the obstacles that she had to overcome?
Yes, ma'am. This movie, it was really well portrayed about all the obstacles going into, I guess you could say, a man's field working at NASA, of being a black woman, with her and Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Jackson, how they inspired and tackled these norms. So they really contribute a lot to society.
So would you suggest, if they haven't seen the movie, go see the movie?
Yes, definitely. It explains it perfectly, and it's a really great example of our history.
Great. And then the next question is, what made you decide to enter this contest in the first place?
So what made me decide to enter this contest was to share and spread awareness regarding the significant contributions and work of Katherine Johnson, and all her work she has done through her 35 years of working at NASA. She is quite literally called a human calculator, which then inspired the title of my piece.
Oh, that's perfect. We're so happy you entered, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much to everyone. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah. And is there anything you want to add?
I do recommend watching the movie if you guys want to be more informed and just seeing how this amazing woman, as well as the other woman who worked at NASA, contributed to our scientific research on space.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ms. Prince, and thank you very much, Paulina, for those words. And now we move on to our middle school division. And in third place, with her piece, Dorothy Height. Dorothy Height was a civil and women's rights activist in which her main focus was on issues of African-American women regarding illiteracy and unemployment. This piece was done by Julia Martinez from Specialist Rafael Hernando Middle School. She is currently an 8th grader. And we have Julia here today.
Hi, Julia. You with us, sweetie?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So again, we have questions because this piece was obviously very impressive. And so we wanted to know, how did you create the background on this artwork, and was it difficult?
Well, as much as it wasn't so difficult, but I created the background basically using a software that allowed me to represent her youth and wisdom. The colorful specks in the background portray her youth and creativity. By creating a circular background with both versions of herself to express how the life cycle correlates with her approach and desire to widen the perspective for future generations and girls such as myself.
Oh my gosh, that's really that's really impressive. Okay, cool. The other question we wanted to ask you is, can you explain why there are two women in the middle, and what does that represent? Maybe a little bit.
Yes, so I decided to apply the images of herself in the middle because women were always a target of discrimination. The two women are both Dorothy Height to illustrate her wisdom and youth. The quotes surrounding the middle portray the words she used to widen the perspective of others, which inspired me to create the artwork.
Oh, not only are you a good artist, but you're articulate. Good job. Do you have anything you want to add? Anybody you want to thank?
I do recommend searching up Dorothy Height. She's a really incredible woman, and the more I read about her, the more I got very enthusiastic about her, and she's really incredible. And yeah, I do recommend learning more about her.
Oh, we're so glad that you did as well. It kind of opened your eyes up, huh?
Yeah.
Good. So we're so happy you entered this contest, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Prince, and thank you, Julia. That's an awesome piece, and I love what you had to say about it. And we're going to move on to our second place winner. And in second place, the piece entitled Shine Bright. My artwork is about celebrating the people that have been through tough times, as well as their ancestors through their accomplishments. Rihanna. This piece was done by Rosalind Dela Cruz of Colonel John O. Enser Middle School. She is currently an 8th grader. And we have Miss Dela Cruz with us today. Hey, how you doing? All right, so I know you're nervous, just relax. Just you and I having a conversation. All right, so I have a question. You did your piece with Rihanna as your focus, and I was just gonna ask you, what was it about Rihanna that inspires you?
I don't know. It's just like, it was my sister's favorite artist, I guess. So I decided to draw her.
Okay. Well, you did an awesome piece. I love the musical notes that you have in the background on the microphone. And it's also interesting that Rihanna is not only doing music now, she's actually into the clothing business, and she's doing very well. People are wondering if she's even going to make any music anymore. She's doing so well with clothing. So I have to ask you, I'm looking at this piece, and I mean, it's very well done. I was curious, what materials did you use to create this artwork?
Acrylic and color pencil.
Okay. Wow, it's very well done. So I have to ask you, are you planning on doing art at the high school?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so, because you're really good at it. Okay, thank you very much for your piece. Do you have anything else to say? Anyone you have to thank? Give a shout out, maybe? Parents? Teachers? No? All right. Well, thank you, Rosalind. I appreciate your time. Moving on. We are going to go into our first place winner. And in first place in the middle school division, we have Mary Kenner in Value. Mary Kenner was an inventor that created many of the female sanitary products used today, such as the sanitary pad. However, due to discrimination because of her skin color, she was not able to patent her invention for over 30 years. This piece was done by Isaac Petta from John Drugan, K8. Isaac is currently in 8th grade, and we have Isaac here with us today.
Hi, Isaac. Can you hear me, sweetie?
Hello, yes.
Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, clearly, you're first place. I'm sure you're excited. We want to know stuff. So, what made you choose Mary Kenner as the person to honor? Where did that come from?
So I chose Marie Kenner because I have a little sister and a mother that both use her products monthly. And she gave freedom to women once monthly because due to her invention, they allowed her to have, she allowed women to have more of like freedom to do work instead of having to go out for a week so that they can relieve themselves for the monthly I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. She helped women, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, she's an inventor, and it's just a shame. And it was really interesting that in your description you mentioned that she didn't get recognized just because of the color of her skin. She was unable to do what she needed to do as any person would have normally, and she was held back, and it wasn't right. When you found that out, were you kind of angry about that, or you just felt like that wasn't fair?
I felt it wasn't fair at all because she helped improve so many people's lives all over the world, and she gave women their freedom to work too as well.
Right. And so there's a stigma attached to things like that when it shouldn't be because it's natural. And she helped women. And so I think it's really cool that you chose her because sometimes people are drawn to people that it's kind of like the name is like brought up a lot, but a lot of people may not know this. So I think there's power in your artwork. You brought attention to somebody who deserved it, you know, so good job. And then the second question is, how did you create this artwork and was it hard?
So for me, it was a bit hard because I used this program called Procreate, and I basically had my reference of Mary Kenner on the side, and I had to basically color match it in black and whites. Then after color matching it, I printed it out and put it on my piece of paper and traced it out so that when I can paint it with my acrylic paints. But the trouble I had is that with my acrylic paints, it didn't have the exact colors I needed for the photograph. So some colors were a bit lighter and some were a bit darker, and it wasn't as vivid. So that's why I chose for the background to be a bright pink, because it kind of helps her pop out.
Exactly. See, you're speaking like an artist. You're talking about contrast and the background and the foreground. That's perfect. So all the decisions you made, it sounds like it helped the piece to be stronger. So I think you're doing really well, and I hope you continue to do art.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything you want to add?
I would like to thank my art teacher, Miss Aragon, because I was actually trying not to enter the contest because I was feeling insecure about my painting. She helped me through it, and she made me realize that it was amazing artwork. And she helped me realize that it should be entered into the contest.
I think she's going to love that you said that. That's really sweet of you. And Miss Aragon is amazing. So yeah, you're lucky. You got a good teacher. So again, congratulations. You can celebrate this Saturday. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac, and thank you, Ms. Prince, once again. I'm so glad that you thanked your teacher, Isaac, because, I mean, the recognition that they deserve, I mean, it's so, overdue, especially in this pandemic, trying to get everything, together, getting art supplies, just making sure that you guys, have exactly what you need. And I would say that the artwork that we have in this competition is a testament to all their hard work, and the students as well, making sure that they did their due diligence and making sure they were able to enter. So we appreciate that you entered, Isaac, and don't question your work. You have talent. All right. So we're going to move on now to the elementary school division. In third place, their piece, My Hero, Barack Obama. Barack was always there and will be there for his people. He made history as our 44th US president. He is an authentic leader. This piece was done by Aiden Aldaba from Robert R. Rojas Elementary, kindergarten. And in second place, Barack Obama's famous quotes, a collage of moments of one of the most important leaders in African-American origin, a family man, a smart lawyer, and a great promoter of diversity and respect for all races, genders, and ideologies. This piece was done by Natalia Chavez Valdez, and she also attends Robert R. Rojas Elementary and is also a kindergartner. And in first place, with his piece entitled Our 44th US President, a True Leader, Barack Hussein Obama is an honest politician, a great attorney, an example for all who believe in democracy. But most important, he was the first African-American president of the United States. We are proud of his powerful leadership. This piece was done by Emmanuel Romero from Robert R. Rojas Elementary as well. And Emmanuel is currently in 4th grade. And we actually have Emmanuel here with us today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Romero.
How you doing, Emmanuel?
Very good, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. And congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
All right, so is this the first art contest that you won?
Second.
It's the second? Oh man, you on a roll. Okay. So I have to ask you, I already read, what you wrote, but, from your own heart, what inspires you about Barack Obama?
Well, I got inspired by Barack Obama because he's the first African American to be president. He arrived at the White House, and he made a very big difference at the United States. He's also the 44th president on the US. He's also a kind president, and I like his word by saying he is very...
You're good.
So hopeful.
You're good. You muted yourself.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you're good. All right, so Emmanuel, I gotta ask this question, man.
Yes.
You got me thinking here. Are you planning on being president one day?
Sure.
I think you do a great job, man. You look very presidential right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you and congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So just so you all know, if you saw at the bottom, there was like a little cash prize. Okay, so our first place winners actually are going to be awarded Visa cards in the denominations of $50, $75, and $100 that were actually supplied by Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Theta Delta Lambda. So we'd like to thank them for that. And also we will be dropping off some gift bags and awards for our top 3 winners all in their entirety. So just letting you all know, we will be contacting you soon. Okay, so just so you know, how do you access the gallery? How do you see all this beautiful work that we're talking about? Okay, so what we need you to do is type this address into your browser, and then next, you will see a link that says Art Galleries in the drop-down menu. You need to click on that. And then if you look, it says SISD Art Galleries, click on that link. And then it'll give you a choice. So we did just have our What's Poppin' art contest, and that gallery is currently up. So if you haven't had the opportunity to see our pop art contest entries, that is up as well. But then what you do is you'd scroll down and then you'd actually see the Black History Art Contest, and that will open up this gallery for this contest. Once you are into the gallery, if you want to find out more about a piece or you want to see it enlarged, all you have to do is just click on the image and it'll open up, and it'll also give you a brief synopsis of what the person was saying about their work and give you a better view of it. And if you'd like to see this YouTube again, or you want to send it to a family member or friends, all you have to do is go on youtube.com and type in SISD Fine Arts, and you'll see our playlist with all the videos, including our pop art, our 6 feet apart contest, and of course, this one as well. So I'd like to give some acknowledgements to Dr. Jose Espinoza, SISD Superintendent, Ms. Alyssa Zapata, Assistant Superintendent, Carmen Croce, Assistant SISD Superintendent, Ms. Cynthia Ratana, who's also over Fine Arts. Thank you very much, Ms. Cynthia Ratana, for being the SISD Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Melissa Parham, who's also Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Maribel Macias, Assistant SISD Superintendent, and then going into our board members, Ms. Cynthia Ann Nahara, Ms. Lucia Borrego, who is our SISD Chief Academic Officer, Mr. David O. Morales, SISD Board Vice President, Mr. Paul Guerra, SISD Board Secretary, Mr. Gary Gandara, SISD Board Trustee, Mr. Paul E. Garcia, SISD Board Trustee, Ms. Angelica Rodriguez, SISD Board Trustee, and of course the SISD Public Relations staff, all district fine arts staff, all district administrators, board members, managers, directors, students, parents, and families, and for their ongoing support of the fine arts. And also, this event would not have been possible if it wasn't for Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. We also give a special thanks to Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated for sponsoring this event, Theta Delta Lambda chapter, and of course, to all the Black leaders throughout the world. We'd also like to give a special thanks to the SISD Technology Department for, of course, giving us our virtual submissions that we can do right now in this pandemic. And that would be Mr. Miguel Serrano, Ms. Elizabeth Rios, Lorenzo Ruiz, and Lauren Benor. So guys, that is all we have for you this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. And we're about to do a group picture. So if you want somebody to join in on the group picture right now, you can. Or if you have any pets, if you have a parakeet you want to put on your shoulder, I don't know, an iguana, snake, whatever it is, now's the time to do it. So everybody turn on your cameras.
Yay!
All right, big smiles for everybody that's here today.
I'll give you.
All right, yeah, you can pull their mom in. All right.
Okay, we'll get Roslyn. Yay! You can get your family, friends. Get them in. We'll give you a minute. Get them in. Get them in. Okay, ready? We're gonna take a couple. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ready? Let's take another one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You are good.
All right, so thank you very much. The link will be made available very shortly, and the gallery is actually up and live. So if you guys want to go ahead and go to the gallery right now, you can. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And please happily celebrate the rest of Black History Month and learn as much as you possibly can.